Hockey town, going down to hockey town, whoa, whoa. Hockey town, take me down to hockey town, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hello, hockey fans. The Minnesota Hockey Connection is on the air. We're on the air for the next half hour. I'm Kenny Gallagher along with Jerry Burrow, and we're going to talk hockey, Minnesota hockey, from the pros to high school and everything in between. And Jerry, let's start with high school hockey. We're in the middle of things, if you will.
Right.
Duluth will host Hockey Day Minnesota next month, and they're preparing the rink down at Bayfront Festival Park. But unfortunately, Duluth East had an incident with an Eden Prairie player, and Duluth East player Benson was hurt.
Yeah, Nathaniel Benson got checked from behind. He lost his balance when he got checked, and he went in the boards. It looked like his neck and shoulder. They said later, someone told me that he probably broke a rib and that cracked a rib.
Now, was he taken off the ice?
Yes, he was down for about 25 minutes, and I was on the other side, and he wasn't really moving too much, but they said he was wiggling and that, so he just got, then someone told me he was just numb in the shoulders and arms and that.
You know, we, of course, had the incident with Jack Jablonski, where
Right.
Jack was paralyzed because of a check from behind. Has the high school league come down on this to the point where this won't happen again? And I guess apparently not.
You're not going to stop it because there's just too many kids out there that don't know how to check right, and there's too many kids that are a little more aggressive than others, and they're bigger, stronger, faster now, hockey players.
Well, you saw the play. Was this an egregious act on this player?
I don't think he went out of his way to do it. I mean, but he did get a check from behind.
Well, I did hear that he has kind of a reputation for
Right.
being a hard player.
Yeah, he does, but I don't know. What do you do? I mean, a player like that, he has to learn that he's got to, when he's around the boards there, I don't know, you don't put a stop on a high school kid, do you? Stop sign.
Nate Benson, we're talking about Duluth East, was taken off.
Yeah.
Nathaniel was taken off the ice and was, like you said, he doesn't have any severe injuries.
I don't
to
know
the
that
point.
for
Okay, you
sure,
don't know
but
yet.
right now, I just hearing from other people, parents and that
Well, at this level, you have to treat this entirely differently than you would certainly a pro game and even a college game. These are youth players learning the game, if you will. And what happened to the player? I'm curious. What happened to the player that caused this injury?
he got a 5-minute and a 10-minute misconduct. But I didn't see him the rest of the game, so I don't know if the coach took him out of the game altogether.
You know, I guess I have a problem. I have an issue with that. And then you've got a player that, I don't know, maybe he won't play the rest of the season. I don't know. And maybe he's not injured that bad. But let's go back to Jack Jablonski. Jack Jablonski's life has been changed, has been altered because of his injury of checking from behind. And to trade an injury like that for 15 minutes is absurd.
Yeah, and Jablonski, they said that was a friend from the other team that they grew up, they knew each other and that Jack lost his balance a little bit and threw the check and that. And
yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. It's I don't know what to do.
Well, I feel for the kids that get hurt,
Right.
those that are on the receiving
Right.
end of this, if you will, and they're basically innocent bystanders. You know, they might have some level of culpability per se, try to get out of the way or what have you, but it really it's not good. And
Right.
I hope that
yeah, you don't want to see this happen
yeah.
to anyone, you know. So, but the nice thing about it, there was a lot of help, a lot of medical staff, a lot of there must have been a couple doctors in the crowd and that, you know, got down there. And Brendan Brooks, he's a medical person, really. He sells medical equipment, but he's around that stuff all the time. So he was over there right away. And so, but he was down for 25 minutes.
that's not good.
No.
East lost the game.
Right. They lost the game, but I thought they gave a good effort. And they're playing a lot better hockey, even though they're losing. But they're playing a lot. I mean, I think by the end of the season, they're going to be a tough team to beat.
East.
Yeah.
What about their goaltending? Is their goaltending?
That's a little
Yeah.
I mean, he's not playing as good as we thought he would, but I see him improving. He can only go up right now.
Oh.
So
well,
that's a good sign there.
Yeah.
And if the other players are playing good and scoring some extra goals and that'll help too.
So East, where are they at now in record-wise?
Record-wise, they're 6-7.
Yeah.
So they're below 500. And they got a lot of tough games coming up.
Well, they were at this position last year.
Yeah, that's right.
And they went to the championship game. So
yeah, I think they were lower than they were last year.
yeah, below 500.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but Coach Randolph, some way he finds a way. He presses a few buttons the right way, and
Sure.
he finds what's clicking, and
Yeah.
he knows how to do this. He's been through it many years.
What was his reaction to this injured player?
Well, he thought it was kind of funny. At first, the refs weren't going to call the play, checking from behind. And it's a funny thing.
Whoa, so
there was two.
really?
But the thing is, in high school, usually there's only 3 officials. 2 linesmen and a ref, or 2 refs and a linesman. And so happened that they had 2 refs and 2 linesmen, like college and pros.
Yeah.
And you think with that, with a sheet of ice, that you got 4 people watching this, holy cow. So, I mean, he was mad at that right away and not being kicked out of the game altogether for check from behind like that.
Well, that comes back to the state high school league, an injury like that, a play like that. I think that has to be mandatory, that player that causes it has to be out of the game until they can evaluate the situation.
But sometimes I've seen players that they call checking from behind, and it's 2 minutes at the most. They might have had a cross check or something, but that's not a major 5. And then all of a sudden there's some kids that will go down and make it look like they're actors too, So there's a lot of stuff going on in this game where you gotta, it's very judgmental sometimes,
Sure.
And it's happened so fast. I can see where but sometimes like a play like that, you can tell, boom.
Yeah.
You couldn't miss that one.
So East, what does their schedule have? Games coming up this week?
They got White Bear and Rosal. Right, they go down to White Bear on Thursday night, and then they have Rosal on Saturday here at the Heritage Center.
Saturday at Heritage?
Yeah,
what?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And Denfeld, the other local public school?
Boy, I don't know who they have this week. I'm not sure of that.
Yeah.
I didn't bring my schedule.
Oh, okay. Well, I count on you for those things.
I know. Next week I'm going to.
You let me down.
I'm going to keep the East and the Denfeld and the Northern Star schedule right here.
Duluth Marshall, are they playing any better?
Yeah, they're getting more competitive in their games now, and so that's a good sign. Before they were losing some by big scores, but now they're playing better, and they're short benched already.
Yeah.
So for
Short
what
bench
they have,
because of injuries?
injuries and just the numbers, they got a lot of young players. They're throwing 9th graders out there on the ice a lot, and that's what they have to do. But hey, these kids will get more experience, and by the end of the year, who knows?
Yeah. Hermantown continues to roll.
Yeah, I saw them against St. Cloud Cathedral on Friday night, and they kind of took it to them 6-1. And St. Cloud is a top 10 team, and so Hermantown's a very good team. Well deserving of the number 1 ranking.
Yeah, yeah. And on the Iron Range, Greenway of Coleraine playing good hockey, but Hibbing, my goodness, undefeated still.
Undefeated still. They beat Cloquet, and who else do they play? Did they play Greenway this week?
Boy, that's going to be...
No, I think they played Greenway and they beat them too.
Oh, okay.
3-2.
Yeah.
So they're playing good hockey.
Well, there's a big game at Greenway Tuesday.
I think it's Rapids, isn't it?
Is it Rapids? Yeah.
I can tell you, maybe.
High school hockey rankings, Minnesota Hockey Connection. Jerry puts together his rankings every week. And Jer, Class A, Class AA, where do you want to start?
Well, let's go to Class A, as long as we're talking Hermantown. Hermantown has Greenway on Tuesday. That's what it is.
Yeah,
There you go.
All right.
So, and they have Bemidji. So two good games. Good A game, and then AA team comes in from the northwest side. But Hermantown's number 1. Breck, number 2. St. Cloud Apollo, number 3. Brecken 2 and 3 played this last week, and Breck won 3-2, so perfect, you know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Hibbing, they're moving up one, so they got Rapids and Superior this week. They're number 4. Montemita, number 5. St. Paul Academy, number 6. East Grand Forks, number 7. St. Cloud Cathedral, 8. Delano, number 9. Thief River Falls, number 10. And teams to watch, Greenway, Little Falls, Laverne, Orono, Sartell St. Stephen, and St. Paul Johnson.
I want to come back up to this Montemita, number 5.
Yeah, Montemita has been, I guess the last few years, they've always been in that area, you know.
Yeah.
They've been a very good team, and they'll play Hill Murray and St. Thomas Academy in their conference. So they got some good AA teams they have to play each year, and it's a good program over there. I mean,
So in order to make it to state, they've got to get past those two teams, Hill Murray or St. Thomas.
well, it used to
Academy.
be St. Thomas, because St. Thomas used to be in Class A. See, Hill Murray's
Sure.
now they're both in
Right,
AA.
right.
So they don't have the problem there. But they're in 4, and who else? I think St. Paul Academy's in 4.
All right.
So that'll be a tough game. With
Do you
them.
anticipate Montemita going up in the standings in A? I mean, you got them
There's
at
a
fifth.
lot of things. They were 4 before this week. Then
Yeah.
they lost a game this week. But I don't know. They got some good teams above
right.
them, like Hermantown, Breck, and St. Paul and Hibbing.
And Hibbing.
Yeah. So
Sure.
it's tough right now to move up.
That's a great story with Hibbing playing as well as they are.
Right.
The last undefeated team in the state of Minnesota in high school hockey.
Yep. Undefeated, untied.
And they're doing it. I'm Scott Perinovich, of course, a UMD recruit, probably the best player on the team, maybe. But what else are they doing? Do they have 3 solid lines? Is goaltending exceptional?
I think the goaltender has been very good. Perinovich, key player. Some of these A teams, you know, if you have a very good player, you can go far. When you have a goaltender and a key player.
Yeah.
And then they got some support this year for the Perinovich on the first line. So, I mean, they're not as deep as Hermantown, but the way they're playing, they can beat any team on a given night.
Well, it's good to see Hibbing doing well.
Yeah, and Greenway too.
And Greenway, yeah.
Yeah.
Class AA,
Benil St. Margaret, number 1. Eden Prairie, number 2. Blaine, number 3. Bemidji, number 4. Number 5, Holy Family Catholic.
now where are they located?
They're all on the west side, the
Where's
other
that
side
at?
of Victoria, other side of Chanhassen.
Oh, okay.
Eden Prairie, go west
right.
from there about 20 miles.
And I don't recall that team, Holy Family Catholic, being in the top 5.
No, they've never
recent
been in
years.
truthfully, they've only been around for hockey for about 5-6 years.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, they're doing a great job out there, and I mean, they're playing great hockey this year.
Yeah.
I mean, they're beating all these teams. I mean, they're playing. I mean, it's fun to watch a team too because they are very offensive. Lakeville North, a lot of forwards on that team. Number 6, Stillwater, number 7, number 8, Edina, number 9, Hill Murray. I just saw those two teams play each other on Saturday night, and it turned into a 3-3 tie. They went
Oh, my.
over them, yeah. So
Okay.
so they're pretty even. And then Elk River, who's in Duluth East section, is number 10. And then teams to watch: Anoka, Centennial, Farmington, Grand Rapids, Minnetonka, Prior Lake, St. Thomas Academy, in White Bear Lake. I was up in Grand Rapids twice this week for the Hermantown game on Tuesday and then Duluth East game. And both times the house was full, but probably more on Thursday night, more people. I think they had to kick people out almost. But the funny thing about it, it was on TV in Duluth and Range. My 9 had the game, and then plus it was being streamed to the cities. I mean, all over the world if you wanted to.
Sure.
And they had people coming up from the cities. I mean, so it was a lot of people saw the game on TV, streaming, and at the game. And then it turned out to be a great game because it was 4-3 final.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah,
it really is.
I mean, high school hockey's still rock and rolling up here.
Well, there's a big fever for high school hockey in the Northland. Of course, Hockey Day Minnesota will play the 10th annual Hockey Day Minnesota in Duluth. February 6th, I believe, is the date we have.
Right.
Saturday, February 6th. Denfeld will take on Eveleth.
At 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And then 1 o'clock is the last year's state championship game, Lakeville North versus Duluth East. So our 2 Duluth teams, our public school teams, will be playing on Hockey Day, Minnesota.
I know Fox Sports North always does great coverage. They start coverage at 9 a.m., and we look forward to it. They've already got the boards up. They're already flooding the rink at Bayfront Festival Park. We've got great weather for it right now. Let's hope that this weather holds out till February 6th.
Right. Got less than a month to go.
And the alternate plan is if for some reason the conditions outside aren't well enough, they'll move the games into Heritage Sports Center.
Yep. Did you watch the Wild game last night?
After the Minnesota Vikings football game, yes, Jerry, I watched the Wild game hoping for a better outcome than the Vikings, and we were let down.
It was worse.
And, I'm not too pleased with the coverage either. I don't know what the reason was, but, we weren't able to see Zach Parisi's goal. They had
I heard that.
technical difficulties. But the Wild, boy, the fact that they couldn't beat that New Jersey team that's somewhat depleted was it was disappointing.
Right. It was not too much offense. After 2 periods, the Wild only had 7 shots on goal, and I know 2 of them were away from out by the blue line, up by the boards. So, I mean, shots that chances are slim to none to going in. I mean,
well, I do know that with Zach scoring yesterday against New Jersey, that's the first time he scored against his former team, and he has now scored a goal against every team in the NHL.
Yeah, that's right, because that's his old team, and they don't play him too often.
Yeah.
That's why.
Sure.
So, and Alex Ovechkin, 500 goals.
Yeah, I saw that. He's on pace, I guess, to surpass Wayne Gretzky.
How old? He must be about 31.
Ovi is 30 years old.
30 years old.
Yep.
Yeah. He must have came in right at 18, 19, huh? Pretty close. Probably has to. I mean,
For sure, yeah.
To get 500 goals
Yeah.
by now. And, hey, that Washington team is a good team, fun to watch. And nice thing about it, they have a lot of Minnesota kids on there. They got Nate Smith who played at St. Cloud Cathedral and the Minnesota Gophers. They got Matt Niskanen, who played at Virginia High School up in the range and UMD for a couple years. They got TJ Oshie from Warroad in North Dakota. He played his college. So they got some nice Minnesota kids on that team. And they're really helping the team too.
They are.
I think Oshie's third on scoring on that team. So,
yeah, speaking of the Wild again lost Sunday night to New Jersey, and they haven't been doing well. Unfortunately, they lost that game, and then they beat Dallas 2-1 on Saturday, which was a very nice win over a very good Dallas team. The overtime loss to Philadelphia on national television last Thursday was kind of a letdown, but they'll play games this week. They'll play Buffalo Tuesday at XL. Friday, they'll host Winnipeg, 7 o'clock drop of the puck, and then they'll be in Nashville this Saturday.
Right. That's another back-to-back on Friday, Saturday.
And NHL, or rather Wild goalie Devin Dubnyk was named to the All-Star team. Devin Dubnyk was among 40 players named to the NHL All-Star game, which is set for Sunday, January 31st in Nashville. The game will be a new 3-on-3 tournament, pitting the 4 divisions The Atlantic will face Metropolitan, and Central will face Pacific. It will be a winner-take-all format, 3-on-3 hockey in the All-Star game.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
It's a hybrid of the game, if
Right.
you will.
Well, you don't want boring. People like, you know what?
The
A lot of
All-Star
people
game
vote-
never
they
has
want-
been boring.
They want, oh yeah, because they'll score more goals than what the Viking Seahawks did yesterday.
I'm not a fan of the 3-on-3 overtime. I'm certainly not going to be a fan of watching a game 3-on-3. So, oh well.
Yeah, the goalies don't have a chance on that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, UMD, they finally won a game.
Well, they had the shootout loss at Ohio, and then Saturday they turned things around and got the victory, and then they'll be home this weekend to take on St. Cloud State. And I feel good about this weekend.
Yeah, I thought that that third period with the USA national team, they came out in that third period and scored 3 goals, and then scored the winning goal in overtime, and then they outshot. Same old problem. The first game out there in Miami is that they're outshooting them almost 2-1, and then all of a sudden they just can't score.
Yeah.
But then the next night they came through. I mean, they started finishing the puck, and so that's good to see. And hopefully it continues because St. Cloud State is a very good team.
What's the deal on this Parker Mackey?
I don't know. He just came out of nowhere. Huh?
Yeah.
He scored a freshman, and what did he score? A couple goals, was it?
Well, I've just been hearing things on social media and stuff that he's the real deal, perhaps.
Yeah. Well, let's hope it continues. We need it.
What's his background?
I think he comes from Canada.
Okay. All right.
I think they got him out of what league was it? I forget.
Yeah, so the Bulldog men will host St. Cloud State this weekend at Amsoil Arena. And St. Scholastica Saints, after a sweep of Finlandia, Saints are 8-3-1. They'll host Milwaukee School of Engineering, which has a very good team. And they'll be at Mars Lakeview this Friday and Saturday. 7 o'clock Friday, drop of the puck. 5 o'clock Saturday up at Mars Lakeview, Scholastica and Milwaukee School of Engineering.
Mm-hmm.
The Yellow Jackets are on the road, both men and women. And Minnesota Gophers, the men will...
Michigan State.
Okay,
No.
yeah, this weekend Michigan State will be at Mariucci Arena. What did they do this past weekend?
They split with Penn State, out there in Penn
Yep.
State, Happy Valley.
Yeah.
That program just jumped right away. That guy, the Buffalo Sabres owner put in over $100 million in that stadium. And
Yeah,
right away.
Pegula. And built a brand new stadium there.
Yeah.
And
They're loving the hockey out there.
They've got a good program there.
Yeah,
And
they filled the
surprisingly-
stadium, over 6,000
They
every
do.
time.
And they were in first place in the Big Ten up until this weekend.
And they're, let's see, in the standings, they're,
Minnesota Gophers are 9-10
15, Penn State still,
in the coaches ranking.
both. Pairwise and
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
15th and 15.
So who do you have in college hockey? Now
You want the pairwise or you want the USCHO, the coaches?
definitely the pairwise.
Pairwise, okay. Quinnipiac, number 1. North Dakota, number 2. North Dakota is number 1 in the coaches. St. Cloud State, number 3 in the pairwise. Harvard, Cornell, 4 and 5. Providence, last year's national champion, number 6. Nebraska Omaha took a couple losses from Denver, number 7. Michigan, number 8. Boston U, 9. Boston College, 10. Notre Dame. Notre Dame's been playing pretty good hockey lately. So they're 11. Yale, number 12. Boy, a lot of Ivy schools, huh? And Mass Lowell, number 13. Denver. Starting to like this team.
Really?
Their power play, it seems like they can go that 2 minutes without anyone touching that puck but them.
Yeah.
They move that puck pretty good in the power play. Penn State, 15. UMD, 16. And then we got...
UMD 16th in pairwise.
Yep, and then
Nice.
RPI, 17. Minnesota State, tied for 17, and Minnesota Gophers 19.
All right.
So, not bad.
And again, the Bulldogs will face off this weekend at Amsoil Arena against St. Cloud State University. And St. Cloud State, Jerry, they lost to that U18 team 7-6 in overtime. They gave up 7 goals to that team.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you're going to put your third goalie in, or they switch goalies every period and trying different things. And all 25 kids are dressing. And if anyone had any injuries or not perfect, they're going to keep them out of the game, so. But, hey, that USA team, I mean, they're very competitive. And that first line, I like that first line on that team. They got a couple kids going to BU. Brian Bellow's kid, Kiefer, he's on that team. And then UMD recruit, Joey Anderson, is on that first line. And I like them a lot. So, it's a very good team.
Well,
let's see. Let's see what happened in the Wilderness on the juniors in the North American Hockey League. They won a couple games Thursday and Friday. First, they beat the Austin down below 4-2, Austin, Minnesota, and then they lost. And then they won the Magicians in Richfield 3-2. And right now they're in second place in their division, the Midwest. Fairbanks is number 1 with 55 points, but top 4 teams get to the playoffs, and they're 47, and Springfield, Illinois is 42, and Janesville, Wisconsin's 40. And then over in the Central, we got Austin, Minnesota, 39 points, and then Magicians are 30 points. But, hey, it's good hockey, that North American Hockey League.
Well, it is, and they play their games at Northwoods Credit Union Arena in Cloquet. And definitely get up there. They've got a great venue, great amenities at the arena there in Cloquet, and they've got a good team, and they got a great coach.
Right. And a good owner. I mean, he support that team. He'll do anything.
Corey Millen, head coach, and Chris Trapp is the owner, and his son, what's his son's name who plays on the team?
Alex.
Alex, yeah.
And funny thing about it, get out there. I mean, there's a lot of local kids. Cody Bender.
Yes.
Cloquet. He would have been in high school this year, but he decided to play juniors, get more games in, and
he's coming to UMD.
Yeah, and but they got 4 East kids on the team: Alex Trapp, Alex Toscano, Jack Forbert, Nick Altman.
Yeah.
So, and plus, there's just a lot of Minnesota kids. So. It's just fun to watch, see these kids after high school play hockey. And I'll tell you what, Northern Minnesota, it's been a good year for hockey for a lot of teams and a lot of players. And just getting out there, you got to get out to see some of these kids.
And, of course, Hockey Day Minnesota will be held in Duluth Saturday, February 6th. We look forward to that. For the staff at PACT-TV that produced this show, we thank them. You can find Minnesota Hockey Connection online, minnesotahockeyconnection.com, and find us on Facebook and like us there. And also on YouTube. Go to YouTube and find us there as well. And, Jerry, we'll be back here next week to drop the puck.
Yeah, so get out there and see some of these kids. See you at the rink.
We'll see you then.
Hockey town, going down to hockey town, whoa, whoa. Hockey town.